Yes, thank you for the invitation, and I would like to talk about the project. And before I start, uh, I'm not so fluent English speaker, and this is one point. And the other point, I'm a developer who sits the whole day behind the screen. So please help me to. I hope you understand me. Okay, let's start. Yes, who am I? Yes, I'm a software architect, and I work. I'm from Brixen, and I work my whole life in the area of furniture industry. So we develop software solutions, but also I'm a part of many, let's say, eco-social initiatives, and I also see what's missing there, and so there is a big challenge. How can we bring our technology also in benefit for future generations? And so I see in the artificial intelligence a really possibility to empowerment and also for next generation. And I would like to, I'm driven to create technology that almost connects people together and serves this common good. And what does this mean? Let's see. Okay. Before I start, I would like to ask you a question. Have you ever been at a meeting or a really great event where you realized later that the most of the important insights you forget, so they are lost. So 1 week later, you thought, my God, what I have heard and what is going on with this insight. Please hand up your hand if you had ever this experience before. Okay, so I'm not alone. And that's exactly the frustration that pushed me to build these tools. So, and I've seen it happens again and again, and after conferences, workshops, and even meetings, and also even important calls. And let's see, today I want you to show a way how we can reclaim this knowledge and make a digital space work for all of us, not just for big companies or algorithms, but for people and communities like ours here. Okay, here's the journey I want to show. Okay, the agenda. First, I will say some words about my motivation, then the challenges and the use cases, then I will give you some solution overview, and 2 applications that I built, and then an outlook and the vision. Okay. So about the motivation. So why I'm building this? So something I already said. Okay. So but it's everything that I built. It's also open, free software, and this is a passion. So that I have. I'm living for a long time. And as I always said, the frustration by knowledge that gets lost, or it's hard to understand. Okay, and I want tools to use for everyone, and for my one motivation is also bridge the tech and the other communities, because the tech people, they speak the language. They have so important knowledge, but it's not understandable to others. Okay, and then it's also one motivation that's I would like to empower people, citizens, not just companies. Okay, and as I'm a software architect, I have also to deal with a system question. Okay, it's not only about tools, it's also about the system behind. And you must think of this building. There is a lot of inventory and rooms and doing stuff, but there is also a construction of the building. And this system, this construction, we also need to organize somehow. And who shapes this digital space? Okay, who is the architect of this space? Are these citizens, or is this big tech? Okay, is this centralized or decentralized? So in this picture I had, where this centralized, I had also some images from Elon Musk and so inside, but then my son said, no, put this away, but now I say it. Okay. Good. So this is also a very important question, because when we talk about social network, okay, and I am looking for social network in the internet, I get always these nice pictures like this one, okay. But this is, in reality, it's not so. It's not this architecture of a network, it's not reality. So this is just a fake, okay? And we are not connected node by node or peer-to-peer. We are always connected via centralized organizations. Okay, and what I want to, also the same question is, today we live in a really interesting time, because we have the tools to change it. So it's not about, we don't need to ask the big tech companies to change the system. It's just about ourselves, so we can do it. We have the tools. Okay, what is the challenge and what are the use cases? So I will start with a short video. What I hope it starts somehow. Okay. For example, I was at FOSDEM. So FOSDEM is one of the over 8,000 hackers or visitors were there in Brussels, and they talked about open source. Okay. This really very big community there. It was strange for me going there that all the people, they come together in 2 days, okay, and they had over 1,000 sessions there. And it's a never-ending list. And I went through the list and thought, oh, this could be interesting, or this, oh, I must go there, but I'm slow feet, and so, okay, I had no chance to visit this, what I wanted. Of course, I could then, at the end, go to the web, and this is, they published everything, everything with open, with common license, so it's free for reading, but it's also hard to get to. So it took me months to read all those lessons that I'm interested to. So this was one challenge, and the solution was on this website I created, almost in an automatic way. So where I have summaries of the whole event itself, and also summaries about every single section. Okay. See here, for example, and so the system creates a summary of that what's is spoken in the video, and also what's within the slides. And this is also very important, because the transcription of audio is not so good, but if you have at the same time also some text from slides, then you could tell the large language models that pick up the names from this source and tell the story from that source. So it's very it's very stable solution if you have multiple sources with the same content. Okay, and of course it's also in different languages. I built this in 5 languages, in France, in Spanish, and you see here also you can go and search for it. So this surface here, it's just published by Obsidian, so it's not finished now, but it's just to show you that at the end, all this data that I translated and I summarized is stored in a file system. It's also a very important concept, okay? And here, for example, you have also some information about Nextcloud. And here also, if I will explain this later again, but here the main concept is these templates. Okay, so how does text be translated and transformed in that what it's important for me? And this is the point where you have the chance to define. You see here, every chapter is defined by a variable and by a question. Please analyze this text and video transcript and so on, blah, 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 in at least 120 words and so on. And so I define the structure of the result in a very, so stop here, in a very defined way. And also you see here on the bottom, this is the system prompt. You also have to tell what is the character of the journalist. So in this case, for my purpose, it was important to explain this the content of this event to eco-social persons, okay? Because open source and public gardening is the same logic behind, but those two communities, they don't understand themselves, okay? But the open source community, as you see, they have 30, 40 years of experience, how to organize, how to finance, how to, and so on. And this knowledge is missing in the other community. So for this reason, for my purpose, I choose this target group, but you could use it and translate the content of this FOSDEM tool for lawyers or for commercialists, so I don't know. It's up to you. It's your how I say, it's your responsibility what you are telling, what you want to tell, and what you want to learn from this source. Okay. Of course, on every page there is a link to the original, so that you can always see what's the original and what is then the summary. Okay, let's go forward. So this was now, okay, problems in the real world, just for summarizing. I hope I didn't miss anything. Okay, knowledge scattered and lost, how to understand expert talk. There at the FOSDEM there were a lot of people from India, from Africa. Also they talk English, but I haven't understand any, not so much. But this guy here understood everything. Okay, and then there's no easy way to collaborate, so privacy control is missing today. This is also a challenge. Real world and eco-social tech worlds disconnected. We have to connect them. And then maybe just one word about how did I tackle this challenge, because it's a huge challenge that I started. And for this, for me, it's not a paid project, it's not a client project, it's just a personal adventure, let's say. So in the last year, my daughters became my boss, and I thought, okay, then I will start studying something that I'm interested into again. Okay, thank you for my daughter that I got this opportunity, but I think that doing this innovation work, it's also important for companies today because, let's see. Okay, then I also had to open a space for experimentation. So I started an innovation department. Okay, why is this important? Because if something is exploding, then no one should get hurt. So you need to have space where not the other people sitting around it. So it's a little bit separated, okay, from daily business. So then I'm an old coder, let's say. I started the last millennium. And for me, this was also the challenge. Okay, let's start with a really complete new infrastructure, development, language. So everything should be the best what's on the market. Okay, and then everything what you see, I fully coded just by myself using vibe coding and Cursor with this modern language models. Okay, and it was at the beginning very frustrating, but so they get better and better. But as I worked my whole life with these young people coming in the door and say, oh, I know how this is work, let me do this, this. So there is also a little bit of experience how to deal with this agent. So you need to keep them calm and study what. Okay, this is also was also a nice experience. So then I also said, okay, I would like to independently deploy and protect my lab environment. So I don't need my administrator, so I do it myself. So, and then the result I first tested for myself before exploring it to others. So this is also important. I have some requests from friends, and so can I have this, but they are no coders, so I don't know if this is already ready to give this away for people who don't know what they are doing. And for this, I'm also here sharing my experiences openly with you, because you are the expert. And I hope together we can get the feeling if it's far away, if it's still what we have to develop again. So it's not a final product, it's just a prototype, let's say, okay? So then we solution overview, how it works. So first I built a secretary service. These are, let's say, a background AI worker. So this it's built about a lot of processes that do this job and this job and this job, and all those processes are done without any storage and also without any. So it's just a Python library with a lot of Python scripts that are also around in the community. And this is the worker in the background. And then there's a second project, it's the Knowledge Scout. That it's also the thing here, but Knowledge Scout is just the surface, the dashboard, and the user interface to organize all the files and the translations and the knowledge. And it has its own storage, so it's with a personal storage, a shared storage, or a public storage. So this secretary service is just a worker. It could be also daemon in your land or somewhere. And the Knowledge Scout is the visible surface. Okay. Okay, these are already set. I've managed storage locations. And the main concept is privacy first, open source, and offline capable. So important is that we deal with our private sphere. So it is okay if someone is always listening when I am thinking something. So this also we must target. This is not finished now. And but at the end, if the system works and we can deal with private knowledge, with team knowledge and public knowledge, then it empowers communities to collaborate and share knowledge in a normal way, I would say. Okay, let's start with the secretary service. So I always explain something. Okay, it's automation pipelines for audio, video, images, PDF, and whatever. Solves time-consuming manual transcriptions in searchable media and runs on on your own server, privacy first. Okay, and let's do a short video. Okay, this is a dashboard from the secretary service. You see the log files, and this is the interface. It's very simple. There is for every media you have your endpoint, and you can transform it and translate it and transcribe it. Okay, so this is we can do here a small sample. So let's try. It was a very simple user interface. Tell you the truth. This what you have seen on FOSDEM, the whole translations of this sessions and so on, I have done with this surface in March. So the user interface for the knowledge scout I built later, because this was just the training environment. So to see what's in the response, you get information about the result, about which models are used and how many what the costs were and so on. Okay, how many tokens you spend. So it's one folder too much. So about the tech stack on the secretary service. Okay. As already said, Python, it's the main programming language. Then you have Flask REST API, OpenAI, Whisper, and GPT-4 for the moment. So this is the best on the market at the moment. But we are already working on an offline version. Then I use FFmpeg for audio video processing, for the PDF image processing, some OCR and other libraries, file system and MongoDB. It's just for temporary caching, and it's built on Docker, so it runs anywhere easy. It's an easy deployment, and it's very simple structure. Again, just for what's about the templates. Template is the most important part in the whole system. So you define what matters, you choose language and style, you set the key questions, what you want to analyze in the source text, and you shape the summary output, and every session follows more or less your logic. So in every session, or not every summary is used this template. Okay, just some slides about the architecture. Okay, there I have several input files too. Then there is the processors inside. It's very modular, so you can add new processors, audio, video, PDF, image, metadata, text. There is some output. It's very simple, but it seems so simple because okay, there are some external calls. Okay, there is a very tricky sequence always, depending what makes sense. I would like to show you here again the different processors, and as a programmer, don't repeat yourself. The do-I concept, there is, if you upload a video, then you must extract the audio file, and the audio file, if it's too long, you must truncate it into chunks for 5 minutes to elaborate the transcription, and then you must put them again together. Then you can do some translations or transformations. And there is one processor for every job, let's say, depending on the media, what you put in and what the result, what you want to get out. You must handle this in a different way. So there's a processor overview, for example. This is sample for audio processing. I don't know if you can read it. So there's input validation, metadata extraction, audio processing, transcription, translator, text transformer, and then here are some app. This is the app because just for some processors there are some storage steps, and then is the output here. And okay, and just a small view how these processors are arranged through the flow of the data, and it was quite difficult to tell to this agent what I want, so to keep the context always clean or clear. And also these nice diagrams here, I would never draw them by manual because they are old when you have finished. So you can ask, okay, can you explain me the flow of the data now when I upload the video? And then he creates these diagrams. But it's not sure if it's true because the diagram you create by it must work like this, but then you must find out if it's really that in the source code. So, but it's a long talk between this agent and me to bring this up and running, and TypeScript and the perfect centralized type system. So all it's the most important thing. If every class and makes its own types, then you are lost. So it is very important that type logic must be clear. Okay, just a short summary about the files. The input and the output, the endpoint and the technology. And I'm also working with the guys from Atom here, and they promised me that they bring this local large language model running on this box. Okay, so we are so at the end, this secretary service could run at your home. If here is the wash machine, and then here is the LLM machine. So, okay, good. Great, so Knowledge Scout. Now we go to the second project, the Knowledge Scout. What problems do we want to solve here? Okay, again, how can I organize all my documents? How can I safely share knowledge with trusted spaces? How can I bring docs from the web into my storages, and is there one place for everything, or what's going on? Okay, again here let's start a small demo. Okay, Knowledge Scout. This is now the user interface. I have some storage. It's a little bit inspired from FOSDEM. Maybe you know you can define your own walls with different physical storages behind. And then you can browse through your own store. This is, for example, OneDrive folder. You select an audio file, you can play it, of course. You click on transform, and then it creates the transcript. So this is just the basic features, but this is the first also commercialized feature for my company, because my salesperson, they make, after some important calls, they do always some Gedächtnisprotokoll, I don't know how in English, and then they put it into it, and then they create with 2 or 3 mouse clicks these transcriptions. You have seen here that you have the possibility to correct the transcription. This is very important. Keep the human in the loop every step, so you can control, because if you go forward and make the summaries like this one, so the bugs in the text, they go on and go on, and then at the end it's garbage. It's a garbage in, garbage out. You need to take a look at every step that the large language models do, at least if you use it in a professional environment. For my personal use, such minor problems, it's not so important. I'm happy if I have this knowledge, also if maybe some words are not so correct. So, then let's go on. Again. Okay, knowledge tab, tech stack. It's an XJS application with React, modern web frontend, TypeScript, type safe, robust code, chats and tailwinds, user components, and useful for responsive design. You have an actual date statement management. At the moment I use Cloak as security authentication, but I would like to switch to Keycloak because this is not free software, Cloak. And also this piece of software runs on anywhere, Docker, and self-hosted on the cloud. At the moment I have storage for OneDrive and local files, and I'm working on the Nextcloud storage driver. Okay, and also here again, the storage provider architecture. It's done in a way that there is one user interface who does not know about the storage provider, because the problem, every storage has its own API and its specific features and problems and to solve, so that there is an abstraction layer for the storage, and then you can add more storage as you need, very easily. And also here, of course, just for curiosity, how the event flows through the user interface to the storage and back. It's quite complicated, and the surface is very simple to use, but in the background there it's not so not so easy. But if you keep the logic always in the focus, then it's handleable. If you would have one user interface for every storage, then you can forget it. So let's make a final challenge. What's about SFSCon? We are sitting here at Neue Tech Park, and you organize this SFSCon event every year. And let's try about this one. So let's take a look. So at this moment I choose the last year, SFSCon. Also there are a lot of sessions. I choose one, and I see, okay, they have a nice website and video, great, and the text. And in this moment I wanted to import this website. Okay, so there's a surface where I also can import one session or the whole list of sessions. Okay, so I pick up this URL and then, so this is the scraping engine, let's say, and then if I import these events, the system analyzes the website and creates this list of events here. I found 100 events in this. Then it's, again, you must check if everything is correct, if the links are correct, okay, is there something corrupt or whatever. And then you start the jobs. Now the jobs are deal to the secretary service. You switch, choose also the language, and at the end it could now take, I don't know, 7 hours, 1 day, 2 days, so it depends on the large language model behind. And what I do over to see what's going on, I have here this event monitor where you see how for what the system has already done. I have done this video this morning, so at this moment all the jobs have already done, and everything is green. But you could also check here again why, if there is an error or whatever. You see the result of every job and then the text. Okay, and the text coming back, so this is, for example, the context that I sent to the large language model, and below this, at the end, there should be then the response. But the response is also saved. These are the list of images in the PowerPoints or in the slides. This is now the result. Okay, and I get also some metadata. This is very important because in this FOSDEM, when I asked the sessions level, I also got the metadata, how important is this session for my purpose, with a vote from 0 to 10. And then in the summaries, in the higher level summaries, I filtered or sorted them that it's important for me. So, and here, again, in the front end, I see then the result. So you see this is the summary of the event. Okay, and also if there is an event with some slides. Let's see what's going on here. Okay, but I use now Obsidian to take a look at the result because it's only files now. And here you see the slides also with the translations of the slides and also the assets. The file structure is stored in a way that I can use the same assets for different languages, so to save space, you know. Here you see all those sessions from SFSCon. It took me maybe 1 day to create this summary, but it would be a pleasure to do this with you, but we should define the template together because this was the template for my interest, but SFSCon maybe have different interests. So then let's go on. So now it's not so far away. So Knowledge Scout, human in loop web session processing. We have seen scraping session talks from website automatically, organize and process everything in batch queues, real-time dashboard for stats and progress, manual reviews and quality checks, control, stay with you, results are archived, ready to export and share. So, okay, roadmap, Knowledge Scout, finishing next cloud provider, a storage provider, scraping books. So I have also a project running with the Dachverband, and they have books like this with a lot of tables inside. and these slides is very easy to transcribe, but a book with very heavy content, it's not so easy. For this, we need also to deal with large language model, image to text conversion, and not only with this OCR. OCR is nice, fast, and cheap, but there are some limitations. Okay. Then on the roadmap is also a rack system, so that we have a chatbot and that I can ask the knowledge about whatever I want to ask, and publish files and focus to the web without Obsidian flow. And at the end, I would also make a Nextcloud community plugin that it's very easy accessible for everyone. So Outlook and Vision, that's coming to that. Great. So we can, I would say our digital routers have to be not so close to commercialized or manipulated as it is today. So, okay. Like, think of the Domplatz in Bolzano, no? So also this space was some time ago not accessible for everyone, but today it's open for all, okay? And our digital commons must belong to everyone, so this is very important. Right now, platforms are dominated by business interests. Every message that you get could be a message from a friend or an advertisement. You never know, okay, what is the interest behind. And so every company, we are here in Neutech, but every company has a firewall, okay? The company decides which the message comes in and goes out for its own interest, no? And for its own benefit. But our brains, they have no firewall pre-installed by Elon Musk or someone. They have no interest, okay? But today we have the tools and the features to build this firewall for ourselves. So this is not a question of asking someone, just about doing, okay? And the last vision, so this cool guy from Ötzi, okay, museum, what would he tell to us, okay? So since, I would say, since 3 million years, we are living in this loop about, with our senses, we feel our surroundings, then we reflect with our experiences, and then we decide somehow, and then we act, okay? And this guy was maybe able to do this with some people, but today the challenge is that we, with this device here, with this stupid piece of iron, we must organize this, that we feel together, so that we have we put all our senses together, that we reflect together with our shared knowledge, then we must decide together, and then at the end we must act together. This is not a question of business, this is just a question of for our grandchilds, for surviving. For capacity, you know, that they have to do this. They have to have this knowledge, otherwise they get really in trouble. So this is now your part, call to action. So get involved, let's learn scattered insights into shared knowledge. Okay. So I will invite you to test the tools, try Secretary Service or Knowledge Scout in your own workflows. Okay, contribute code feedback or use case stories. are welcome. And then I'm also looking for partners, maybe pilot projects, open data initiatives, and for civic tech initiatives, collaborations. You reach me here. Oh, I missed the GitHub link to the website, but anyway, we will add this later. Okay. And thank you. Any questions?
Thank you for a very interesting presentation. Now it's your turn. Who wants to start with the first question or comment?
This is very cool. I like it very much, except one word. That word was OpenAI. Did you try to use some other model provider? I'm thinking about Mistral, for example. That's a European one.
Yes, I'm a software developer, and there are the people sitting there from Atom, and they use free models.
Yeah, but you don't need to use a free model, just another provider.
Yes, of course.
You can have a look at Mistral AI.
Okay.
That's a French company that is API compatible to OpenAI. You just need to change the endpoint. You can leave your code, it will just send it somewhere else.
Okay.
And
I will try it out.
Strongly suggest to get rid of OpenAI.
Okay.
Yeah, really cool project. We've seen a lot of things that you transcribed. Would you mind to share maybe some cost estimation, how much money you had to take in your hands to convert all those videos, maybe just as a rough expectation, because it seems like there's like hours and hours of videos. That sounds like a lot of processing power and also credits.
Okay, when you ask me about the testing, and maybe I translated and transcribed those more, 5-6 times. In a totally, maybe the costs from OpenAI already was €1,000. But if the system would run and would have not so many bugs, then it would cost you maybe €200. But if those guys are ready, then it costs you just this piece of iron here, which costs also €200, I think, or 250, as I heard. And then you just need just more time, maybe. But if there are some friends around that everyone has such a box, then you can also lend the large language model power with community logic, you know, so that at the end you are faster than these paid services. And for the agent, okay, the last bill was €600 per month, but there are also some alternatives. But for me, it was just an attention, not to test it out. Okay, before I tell to my people in my office, because I have a company with 20 people, then I cannot tell them what they should use without testing it before. Okay.
Yeah, not quite a question, but I heard talking about Mistral. Just keep in mind that their models are not quite up to par to OpenAI's, so you could get like some issues with the quality of their output, because like yeah, wait, just check out like the LLM Arena. It's like a website where they benchmark them, and you can see how OpenAI's models are quite like up to in the leaderboard, second to Gemma 2 from Google, and like Mistral is like 16 with like many errors on the generic test they do on the LLMs.
Yeah, you're absolutely correct. If you want to have it solve Matura, challenge test, but he's using it to summarize. And for summarizing, you don't even need the biggest model. You just can have a smaller one that is cheaper. And Mista does that very well.
I'm happy that I'm a software developer.
Yeah, no, but like he was talking about building a RAG. Like you could do that with a model that searches the internet, not only with like vector databases. So like if you want to do that, it's very difficult that one of their models can be useful for that. And about summarizing, like we were talking about summarizing in multiple languages. And most of the time, OpenAI O3 model is very good at summarizing in like Italian and German, when Mistral has some issues with that. So that's why I was talking about that.
Okay, I challenge you to a showdown where I will use Mistral and you can use OpenAI. Do you accept the challenge?
Yes.
I mean, summarization challenge or?
Yeah, we can have different things. We can add back, so answering questions also if you want to.
Yeah, we could do that. Right?
Okay, Stefano, book us.
I do like the December session free.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Hackathon. So this is a job for hackathon.
So 4th December, is it fine for everyone?
Yeah, we will be building like a local LLM arena, like the noise LLM arena. So,
Great.
like, thank you. Just wanted to say that.
Yeah, let's do that. That's fun. Let's do that.
Yeah. I will send you an email to book the date, and I'm really curious to see this challenge now. Someone else has something to share or ask? It seems not, so if you can switch to slides, please. Just to conclude the event, as usual, the discussion time we already had with a big discussion on models. I will share the upcoming events. So next month will be a similar topic, so LLMs. Lucas Meyer will present some extension he developed on top of our Steward bot, let's call it. We developed within the Open Data Hub to help our customer care to answer the tickets they get, and he developed some improvement, and he would like to share with the community and see. I'm really curious to see. As said, I had the 4th of December free, but now we booked the session on the 4th of December. But if someone has something that would like to share, there are already the dates of the next year already booked. So you can send me and drop me an email with the top proposal, and I will be happy to find together with you a date for the next year. We opened also the registration for the hackathon summer edition. It will be held at the Lido Siena as usual. It will take place the 1st and 2nd August 2025. So if you are interested in hacking 24 hours and competing with other hackers, feel free to register and go on hackathon.bz.it to register to the event, and we will be happy to see you there. Then we already heard SFSCon. SFSCon is a big conference that brings here more than 100 speakers and more than 1,000 participants here in Neutech Park around open source. Obviously, such conference lives also from volunteers, so we are looking for volunteers that are happy to help us during the organization of the conference. If you are interested in becoming a volunteer, go on our website and you will find all the information on how to become. Or you can go on the website and register to the conference if you are not willing to help us but interested in the content we will provide. We just closed the 30th of June the call for speaker, and now the team is evaluating all the top proposal we got. So in a short time you will find also the program on the website. So go on sfscon.it and you will find all the information you need to register to the event, to see the program, or to become a volunteer at the event. So now I finish my upcoming events part. Thank you, Peter, for your really interesting presentation. And thank you all for coming here. Now you can enjoy the buffet behind you and talk one to each other. So see you next time. Bye bye.